Welcome back for the newsletter recap for August 29th, 2022, where I go over all the links that were in this past Monday's newsletter. If you're not caught up on that, I'm a moderator on the subreddit and a number of different forums, and so what I do every week is I collect some of the more interesting posts, compile them all together into an email, and ship them out to everyone on the list. It's free to join. Go to armwrestlingforums.com, put your email in right here, hit the join button, and you're in for next Monday's letter. So in this video, I'm going to kind of go over everything that was sent out yesterday in that newsletter, and let's get into it. So we have some general happenings. We have Bowen versus Khaled confirmed for King of the Table 5 after Schoolboy. So you'd be forgiven for thinking that this was going to be a left-handed match, but you'd be wrong. It's also right-handed. Khaled is going to pull Schoolboy and then Ryan Bowen back-to-back right-handed at the same event. I don't think it's been announced yet whether the matches are literally back-to-back or if there's some other super matches in between, but I mean, I thought it was a troll when I first read it, but here's the poster. It's out. It's real. It is happening. Bowen and Khaled were kind of going back and forth on social media talking some trash, and so somehow this came about, and it is ludicrous. Personally, I don't love it. Frankly, I don't even like the Schoolboy and Khaled match because Khaled is not an arm wrestler. It's not good data. This guy doesn't train for arm wrestling, so it's like if he wins or loses, I mean, what am I supposed to do with that information? I guess just from a raw entertainment perspective, it's kind of interesting, but from a arm wrestling fan perspective, I don't know. It just kind of seems like a throwaway match that you can't really read anything into. That's Schoolboy and Khaled. Now Bowen and Khaled after the Schoolboy and Khaled match is just that times 10, right? Because now we have a tired Khaled going against Ryan Bowen. It's kind of, if Bowen wins, I mean, that means nothing. We don't know how tired Khaled was, and if Khaled wins, I mean, okay, this guy doesn't arm wrestle. We may never even see him arm wrestle again, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that either. But it's going down one way or another. Saturday, October 1st at King of the Table 5. You will see Khaled versus Schoolboy and Bowen, which might be the first time that's ever happened. Certainly not the first time we've seen athletes pull right and left-handed at the same event. We see that all the time with Engen's East versus West, but this is something else. But yeah, keep an eye out for that, and should be interesting. And we're sure to get a lot of trash talk between these two leading up to it. We'll keep you posted in the newsletter. Next up on the list, we have Artem Morizov arm wrestling at age 16. So he's still a young lad. I think he's 24 right now. And this video surfaced of him at 16 years old. Oh man, little baby Artem. Being a monster. Spoiler alert. It would have been fun to watch this video and then have people guess who that was, see how long it takes them. I think this might be the Kazakhstani flag on the table, so maybe that's a giveaway. But either way, let's just watch a little bit of this. Just fast and explosive. And here he is, he can end this anytime he wants. There he goes. So don't want to play the whole thing. Head on over to Arm Hunter for the whole video, but super fun watch. This dude he was destined to be top level. And I think Engen just announced him as world champion left hand for the East vs West stuff. So he's now kind of adding some structure to it, champions, belts, all that, which I love to see, right? Build out the infrastructure behind East vs West. Let's make this thing stick. So yeah, next up we have, let's see, Vitaly over 300 pounds. So this picture surfaced, I believe, on the Reddit page. And it's from Vitaly's Instagram, and he is looking massive. So when if you recall, Vitaly actually lost to Dmitry Salayev a couple months ago, which kind of shocked the arm wrestling world, because Vitaly was kind of considered number 2. So to see him lose to a guy who's been out of the scene for a minute, not Dimitri's fault. He got in a bit of trouble over there, so he couldn't arm wrestle. But yeah, that was crazy. But everyone was looking at Vitaly like, dude, he's a stick. That's not Vitaly. What the heck? And sure enough, he's back in form. I mean, look at the size of this dude. Absolutely massive, over 300 pounds. And this was in preparation for the AMC tournament over in Russia, I believe in the Chechnya region, which just happened this last Saturday. I think it was pretty isolated to just Russian athletes, but we did get some interesting footage, which is actually what's next on the newsletter, and we'll get into it here. And it's Vitaly and Dmitry again. So this is a chance for redemption for Vitaly. Let's see how it goes. Pretty close. I mean, Dimitri seemed to have the upper hand, but it was one of those slips where you don't want to read too much into it. Here we are on the straps, both going for a high, posting top roll. And we can see Dimitri wins center, but loses his hand in the process. And Vitaly's having trouble pulling him out. Can't even get it back to center, really. Dimitri not really flop pressing, more just straight side pressure, a la Todd Hutchings. And there we go. Dimitri starting to bring it back, really getting that brachialis going. But we have an elbow foul and a restart. You can see Vitaly complaining there that his hand is too low, and the ref indeed is kind of grabbing it down. Squaring the shoulders. You know, Vitaly likes that kind of high cup top roll. So let's see if he can get it here. There, a nice high grip. Loses his hand for a second, but brings it back. Just too strong. And you can see the celebration on Vitaly there. Really excited to get that win, because I'm sure he knows this was a redemption match. So good on both of those guys. We'll be seeing a lot more then. Two of the top, maybe that's probably the top two out of Russia, period. Although this also happened at the same event. Here we have Zauer on the left, who you'd be forgiven for forgetting about a bit, because I think he's had a pretty decorated history in WAF, but not too much international super match attention. And in this same event, we see a slip, no surprise there. And then we go to the strap and check this out. High posting top roll, takes Vitaly's hand and finishes the job. So super impressive. He's stoked, as he should be. Unfortunately, there's not a ton of information on this tournament. Certainly the language barrier doesn't help. It's not clear whether this was before or after Vitaly's match with Solayev that we just watched. Either way, I mean, a win over Vitaly is humongous, and now everyone's talking about him. Thanks to Snoo Macaroons for sharing this. And the title is actually Vitaly Lalatin loses to a random guy. Who's he? So yeah, big splash on the scene. I'm sure we're going to see him probably in East vs. West very soon. A lot of hype. And yeah, so pretty sweet tournament. Look at the lighting. Look at the setup. Man, I want to arm wrestle there. Us in the North America region, we got to step up our platform game. That is impressive. Anyway, let's get on to the next topic here. So that covers these two, and then we have bodybuilders try arm wrestling. So we have another one of those sort of man on the street videos where you set up an arm wrestling table somewhere random, and a lot of big dudes get a reality check. This one's on Larry's channel, so it's a big dude giving other big dudes a reality check. But nonetheless, I'll start here. Just a brief clip. We have Adam Silver taking the hand of a fresh, right off the stage.
You guys see that?
Larry should be in here in the next clip. There he is. And so again, this is fresh off the stage bodybuilder. It's getting a little arm wrestling action in. You love to see this stuff. I mean, it just spreads the word. All these guys are going to go home thinking about what just happened, what they just felt. But don't read too much into this. I mean, if you're fresh off the stage bodybuilding, you are really at your weakest. You may look the best, but you are dehydrated, malnourished. I mean, it is rough on competition day for bodybuilding. So, but just a fun video. Help spread the word. Head on over to Larry's channel. Good stuff. Next up, we have, let's see, Talbot out of East vs. West 5. So Paul Talbot was pulling Daniel Prokopchik, but Engin shared a message saying Paul Talbot injured his thumb and his match at East vs. West is postponed. I wish him speedy recovery. So I believe this actually happened when Paul was pulling Artem Taranenko, the top roll king. And yeah, Artem actually won that match. I don't know if it was because of the injury. I'm not sure exactly the order of events there, but either way, very impressive for Artem. Talbot out, that stinks, but Engin did say postponed, so I'm sure we'll see him very shortly in another East vs. West, especially because Engin's pumping these things out. He's already talking about East vs. West 6 in January, so we'll get that soon. But, you know, it happens. So the new updated card here, pull this up for you guys. I'll read off the whole thing just so you know. November 19th, East vs. West 5 is Brzezinski versus Petrenko, Cadaret versus Gasparini. Michael, very big implications on this match, by the way, hint, hint. Michael Todd versus Prudnik. You have Morizov versus Revaz again, Mask and Cedrus. Cobra Rhodes coming back. Can't wait for that. Against Gildil, Paulin versus Irakli Gamtanadze. So not Irakli Zirakashvili. Keep that in mind. You have Wagner Bortolato versus Georgi Tereznov. David Samushia versus Daniel Prokopchik. Adam Warzinski versus Bojidar Simonov. Tobias Barong versus Georgi Zaranov. Justin Bishop versus Mindaugas Terasitis. David Dikian versus Evgeny Prudnik. I believe this is left hand. And then Artem Morizov versus Tobias Barong. So another juiced out card. I mean, this is just kind of expected from Engen now. It's unbelievable what he's doing. So that's the new card. 100% confirmed, or as much as you can be with these things. You never know when someone's going to get hurt or can't make their flight, or who knows nowadays. But yeah, there you have it. And the last post in the general happening section is Lavon on Dancing with the Stars. So I was watching the right here the podcast with Neil Pickup, live Q&A, and this was not what I was expecting, but it opened with Lavon saying he got an offer from Dancing with the Stars, that reality show where they have stars come on and pair them with a professional dancer, and the stars learn how to dance and do a routine with the professional dancer against other pairs of stars and dancers, and then whoever does the best routine moves on, I suppose. You know the drill. But yeah, that's I want to see it. Lavon did say he wasn't planning on doing it until Neil was like, dude, what? You have to do this. And so yeah, he started to convince Lavon. Lavon said that, you know what, after talking with you, I think I might do this. And I think we have to. I'm pretty sure, I don't think it's like Dancing with the Stars Georgia. I think it's just Dancing with the Stars. I think there might just be one of them, which would give much more exposure than if it was just, the Georgian version. But either way, that'd be super cool. I hope Lavon does it. He's so likable, and it's just more exposure for the sport, which you can't get enough of. Last up, we have our meme of the week. It is Hey Michael, and it's a video. This is apparently a thing now. Whenever you have a super match with someone, you have to either rap battle them or sing a song about them. We've seen Prudnik do this multiple times now. This one, he just took it to another level. And, well, let's just watch a little bit of it.
Hey, Michael Todd.
This is really
You will regret that your challenge.
I love that there's people just walking by behind him. There's just this topless man with a shield yelling, Hey Michael. Just things you see out on your daily stroll. So if you didn't know, Prudnik is an actor. He's got crazy pipes, super talented dude. It's just so funny to see this new meta in arm wrestling developing. We saw Michael Todd fire back with a rap video earlier, and so he now has to answer this. I'm not sure how he's going to do it, but it'll be sure to make the next newsletter. So that's going to do it for us here. Again, make sure you head to armwrestlingforums.com, sign up for the free weekly newsletter, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.